There are certain specific patterns which appear all over the world. Grid patterns all over the Cave of Lascaux, for example. And you find exactly the same device on the walls of rock shelters in South Africa. Not only are these two cultures distant geographically, they're also distant in time.
Welcome to a journey through time and beneath the earth, where secrets of the ancient world lie hidden in the shadows. Today we're diving deep into the submerged wonders of the Koska Cave, a Paleolithic masterpiece tucked beneath the sea near Marseille, and soaring through the immense underground canyons of Scotzian caves in Slovenia, a place where history echoes off the walls. Join us as we explore these incredible caves, each holding mysteries that predate the Ice Age. Koska Cave, nestled near Marseille in the Calanques of southern France, is a remarkable underwater cave that offers a window into the Upper Paleolithic period. Discovered by Henri Koska, a professional diver from Marseille, the cave's entrance lies 37 meters below the surface of the sea near Cap Morgeau. Koska, who was driven more by a passion for diving and the allure of the unknown rather than archaeological ambitions, first explored this submerged entrance in 1985. The entrance to the cave, now underwater, was submerged due to rising sea levels following the last ice age, preserving its contents through the millennia. During his initial dives, Koska was not conducting an archaeological investigation. It was only after several explorations, as he delved deeper into the cave's labyrinth of tunnels and chambers, that he began to notice walls decorated with what seemed to be ancient artwork. The significance of these findings was not immediately apparent. However, over time, the implications of his discovery began to dawn on him. It wasn't until 1991, several years after his initial discovery, that the true archaeological importance of the cave was recognized. Koska reached out to Jean Clot, a renowned prehistorian, who conducted the first scientific examination of the site. Clots confirmed that the paintings and engravings were indeed from the Upper Paleolithic period, marking a crucial step in the cave's study and preservation. Access to the cave remains a significant challenge, as the entrance is a long, narrow underwater tunnel only navigable by skilled divers. This natural barrier has helped shield the cave from casual explorers and the elements, helping to preserve its ancient artworks from both human interference and environmental degradation. This combination of fascinating discovery, unique preservation conditions, and significant historical artifacts makes Koska Cave a unique and valuable site for understanding the distant past. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Koska Cave, we uncover not only its historical significance, but also the geological processes that shaped it. Within the limestone cliffs of the Calanques near Marseille, France, Koska Cave is a product of millions of years of erosion, sedimentation, and tectonic activity. These natural forces have carved out an intricate network of chambers and narrow passages, stretching several hundred meters into the cliffs. The main entrance, now submerged under the sea, forms a 175-meter-long underwater tunnel, serving as a natural barrier that has preserved the integrity of the cave and maintained its internal climate. This has been crucial in protecting the delicate prehistoric artworks within from external influences. Within these ancient walls, over 500 graphic elements tell a vivid story of life during the Paleolithic era. The cave's art is divided into two distinct periods. The earlier works, dating from 27,000 to 19,000 years ago, feature predominantly hand stencils and geometric shapes, reflecting early humans' exploration of personal identity and abstract thought. Later artworks, however, show a marked progression to detailed depictions of both local and marine fauna, suggesting a deepening of cognitive abilities and cultural sophistication among the cave's occupants. Among the cave's unique artistic highlights is the depiction of marine species such as seals and jellyfish, exceptionally rare in Paleolithic rock art, which predominantly features terrestrial animals. This inclusion suggests that the inhabitants of the Koska region might have had a unique maritime culture, relying on the sea not just for sustenance, but also integrating it deeply into their spiritual and artistic lives. This stands in stark contrast to contemporaneous inland sites like Lascaux Cave, where the art focuses almost exclusively on land animals, indicating a lifestyle deeply connected to the forests and plains. In drawing comparisons, Koska Cave bears similarities to the Indonesian Liang Tedongga Cave, home to the world's oldest known cave painting of a warty pig. Both sites provide crucial insights into their respective cultures' interactions with their environments. However, while Liang Tedonga emphasizes early human interaction with terrestrial fauna, Koska Cave uniquely showcases the integration of marine life into human artistic expression, offering a rare glimpse into Paleolithic maritime life. One fascinating theory posits that the dual themes of terrestrial and marine animals in Koska's art might reflect a mythological or totemic system where these animals were revered and possibly considered spiritually significant. This is supported by the respectful depiction of these animals, suggesting they held more than mere nutritional value. It is possible that Koska Cave served as a sacred site where rituals or teachings about these spirit animals were conducted, making it both a sanctuary and a repository of communal knowledge. This intertwining of art, culture, and spirituality highlights the complex relationship between the cave's ancient inhabitants and their environment, continuing to fascinate and enlighten us about the depth of human history. As we turn our attention from the maritime splendor of the Koska Cave to the dramatic landscapes of Eastern Europe, we encounter another fascinating world beneath the Earth's surface, the Scotzian Caves in Slovenia. Nestled in the karst region, these caves are not just cavernous wonders, but also a testament to the region's rich archaeological heritage. In 1986, Scotzian Caves earned a spot on the UNESCO World Heritage List, celebrated for both their natural and cultural importance. The allure of Scotzian Caves has captivated humans for centuries, perhaps even millennia. The dramatic disappearance of the Reka River into the depths of the earth has fueled local Slovene folklore with tales of chasms and underworld passages, hinting at a deep-rooted connection with these caves. One of the earliest comprehensive descriptions came from Johann Weikard von Valvassor in 1689. In his work, The Glory of the Duchy of Carniola, he praised the cave's grandeur, sparking interest across Europe. Yet it wasn't until the 1880s that scientific exploration truly began. These explorations, which continued into the early 20th century, mapped the extensive network of passages and chambers and led to the construction of paths and bridges, making the caves more accessible for both scientific study and tourism. Scotzian Caves are a prime example of karst topography, formed by the persistent action of the Reka River. As it flows over 50 kilometers on the surface and then another 34 kilometers underground, the river dissolves limestone, creating a complex network of caves, tunnels, and chambers. This process has led to the formation of some of the cave system's most notable features, such as the Martel Chamber and the Silent Cave. Named after the French speleologist Edouard Alfred Martel, the Martel Chamber is one of the largest underground chambers in the world, boasting a self-regulating microclimate. The Silent Cave, or Tihajama, plunges nearly 150 meters deep, showcasing the incredible power of subterranean rivers and erosion. The sheer depth and isolation create an eerie silence in the cave, occasionally interrupted by the drip of water or the muffled rush of the river further below. Drawing an interesting parallel, Scotzian Caves can be compared to the Mammoth Cave system in Kentucky, USA. Both UNESCO World Heritage Sites represent extensive karst landscapes, but while Scotzian impresses with its deep underground canyons and river erosion features, Mammoth Cave boasts the title of the world's longest cave system with more than 400 miles of surveyed passageways. This comparison highlights the diverse ways in which water shapes limestone to create breathtaking subterranean worlds. An important aspect of Scotzian Caves is the unique biodiversity they support, thanks to the stable conditions of constant temperature and humidity. This environment is home to unique species, including the cave salamander, affectionately known as the human fish due to its skin color. This biodiversity is crucial for understanding karst environments and the evolutionary adaptations of life forms thriving in perpetual darkness, further cementing the Scotzian Caves as not only a natural wonder, but also a significant ecological and cultural treasure.
It's called Derinkuyu, and it's a marvel of engineering. The bottom line here is, just to throw it out there, they don't know who built it.
It is first referenced all the way back in 370 BC. Graham Hancock, it is also speculated by people such as him and others that this was a place where people who were living took shelter from the Ice Age.
The most important issue to me is the issue of a global cataclysm at the end of the Ice Age. What caused that cataclysm is a secondary issue. The cataclysm itself is the primary issue.
Imagine stumbling across a hidden door in your home that leads to an ancient underground city, extending deep into the Earth's crust and sprawling enough to shelter tens of thousands of people.
Just to put things into perspective, if you travel underground in Derinkuyu from end to end, you're gonna walk 4 miles.
This isn't the plot of an Indiana Jones movie. It's the real-life discovery of Derinkuyu, the largest underground city in Turkey's historical region of Cappadocia. Carved from the soft volcanic rock and buried in secrecy, this subterranean labyrinth was not only a marvel of ancient engineering, but a crucial fortress in times of danger. This area is known for its soft volcanic rock formations called tuff, which are relatively easy to carve and were crucial in the development of numerous underground dwellings, with Derinkuyu being the most extensive. The city was rediscovered in 1963 by accident when a local man, during home renovations, knocked down a wall to find a passage leading to this vast ancient network.
And he took a sledgehammer to one of the walls, and when the walls came down, he saw that it was an opening into a cave.
This discovery unveiled a complex that extends more than 85 meters below the Earth's surface, hidden under what was thought to be just a typical Turkish rural settlement.
He had come to an opening where there were several other passages that he could take. And then he said, you know what, this is a little bit too much. So he ended up calling the authorities.
The origins of Derinkuyu are shrouded in mystery, but it is widely believed that the Phrygians, an ancient Indo-European people, initiated its construction in the 8th to 7th centuries BCE. Over the centuries, various groups expanded it, especially during the Byzantine era as a sanctuary from the 7th to the 11th centuries, amidst the Arab-Byzantine wars. The city served as a formidable refuge from Muslim-Arab incursions, capable of sheltering up to 20,000 people along with their livestock and supplies for extended periods. The city's architecture can be compared to that of a massive ancient submarine nestled under the rock, designed to be airtight and self-sufficient, mirroring a submarine's ability to provide safety against external perils with its life support systems. Derinkuyu is equipped with air shafts for ventilation and water wells that supported life independently from the outside world, protecting its inhabitants from the threats of war and invasion. The engineering marvel of Derinkuyu is as ingenious as it is expansive. The entire city was manually carved from volcanic rock, with corridors strategically designed to maximize space and functionality. It features everything necessary for prolonged underground life, including stables, churches, schools, and multiple storerooms.
The fact that they found a chapel gave to the theory that Christians were hiding there.
These spaces not only served their primary functions, but also doubled as meeting halls, illustrating a well-organized community capable of thriving under the surface. The city's layout and the architectural choices made reflect a profound understanding of both defensive strategy and urban planning, making Derinkuyu a fascinating study in ancient engineering and survival tactics. Continuing from the initial exploration of Derinkuyu's incredible architecture and its rediscovery, it's fascinating to delve deeper into the structural intricacies that make it a marvel of ancient engineering. The grandeur of Derinkuyu isn't just in its vast size. The sophisticated design carved from the region's soft volcanic rock showcases its complexity. The city extends about 85 meters underground and is capable of accommodating up to 20,000 people along with their livestock and essential supplies. The city is structured across 18 levels with only 8 open to the public. These levels are interlinked by miles of tunnels, each meticulously designed for both functionality and defense. The effort required to excavate and shape this massive subterranean complex is reminiscent of the monumental work seen in the Great Pyramids of Egypt, highlighting the extraordinary capabilities of ancient civilizations with limited technological means.
That actually is one of the moments when I realized how difficult the Great Pyramid must have been to build. With all the blocks and supposedly a huge workforce, so whatever the Egyptologists imagined was done, and I don't believe anybody knows how it was done.
Yeah.
One of the most pivotal features of Derinkuyu is its ventilation system, which includes over 15,000 narrow ducts, ensuring that fresh air circulates even to the lowest depths. This advanced engineering is akin to modern skyscraper technologies used to manage airflow efficiently across large buildings. Security was also a key element in the city's design. The narrow entrances forced individuals to bend while navigating the tunnels, a strategic choice that limited easy access by invaders. These could be further secured by large stone doors, which could be rolled across to block the passages, much like bunker doors in contemporary military uses. The internal layout of Derinkuyu suggests a highly organized society was at work here. The city included residential areas, communal spaces, stables, and ample storage facilities for food and wine, indicating a complex communal life that could be compared to modern cooperative living communities. Moreover, the sophisticated water system featuring an extensive network of wells and channels not only provided fresh water, but also protected its inhabitants from external threats, much like the aqueducts of ancient Rome. Religious and ceremonial sites were central to life in Derinkuyu. Numerous chapels and churches were intricately carved into the rock, replete with altars and baptismal fonts. The largest chapel, with a cruciform design at the city's deepest level, echoes the secretive religious practices of early Christians in the Roman catacombs, serving both as places of worship and safe havens. In this way, Derinkuyu was not just a place of refuge, but a beacon of ancient innovation, reflecting the depth of human creativity and resilience. Through its architectural wonders, this underground city continues to reveal the complexities of ancient life and the advanced understanding of urban planning and design that characterized early civilizations. Continuing the exploration of Cappadocia's fascinating underground cities, let's turn our attention to Kaymakli, which shares many historical similarities with Derinkuyu, yet presents a unique architectural narrative. Both cities date back to the 7th and 8th centuries BCE and are carved from the region's soft volcanic rock, known as tuff. This material has been integral to the development of the extensive subterranean networks for which the area is famous. However, Kaymakli differentiates itself by spreading more extensively across a horizontal plane rather than delving deeper into the earth, indicating a different approach in its architectural design and strategic planning. Kaymakli's layout is an architecturally sophisticated network spread over 8 levels, though today, only 4 of these levels are open to visitors. The city's extensive horizontal spread creates a labyrinthine network of tunnels and rooms that have been strategically designed to enhance defensive capabilities. The maze-like passageways and narrow tunnels are particularly noteworthy as they restrict movement and effectively force potential invaders to move in single file. This design not only made it easier to defend the city, but also demonstrated a highly advanced understanding of urban planning and warfare strategy. By incorporating such intricate defense mechanisms directly into the city's architecture, Kaymakli's builders ensured that their city was not just a place to live, but a fortress capable of withstanding potential sieges. Through its sprawling tunnels and smartly designed bottlenecks, this underground city exemplifies the incredible ingenuity of ancient Cappadocian civilizations in adapting their urban constructions to meet both the needs of their communities and the demands of their security. Building on the fascinating historical and architectural narrative of Kaymakli, it's interesting to delve deeper into the specifics of its design and how these elements contributed to its functionality as both a living space and a fortress. The architectural network within Kaymakli is a testament to the engineering prowess of its ancient builders. The expansive maze of tunnels and rooms wasn't just for daily living, it was crucial for defense. The narrow, winding passageways, many just tall enough to force a person to stoop, acted as natural deterrents during enemy incursions. These cramped quarters significantly disadvantaged taller individuals and large groups who could be easily ambushed by the city's defenders. The city was ingeniously planned to support a complete societal structure underground. Each floor of Kaymakli could function as an independent unit, equipped with all the necessities for prolonged isolation. The layout of Kaymakli bears striking similarities to the mythological labyrinth of King Minos in Crete, designed to disorient and trap the Minotaur. Like this ancient labyrinth, Kaymakli's complex network of passageways was strategically designed to protect its inhabitants by maximizing defensive advantages and restricting enemy movement. This design reflects the defensive architecture that is typical of ancient Cappadocian settlements. Unlike Derinkuyu's vertical expansions, Kaymakli's more horizontal spread allowed for easier communication and movement of troops within the city during emergencies, offering a strategic edge. Overall, Kaymakli not only showcases the architectural innovations of its time, but also symbolizes the ingenuity of ancient societies in leveraging their environment for survival. From its communal living spaces to its defensive mechanisms, the city illustrates a sophisticated understanding of urban planning and military defense that was remarkably advanced for its era.
There is a certain wonder in caves that you just don't find on the surface. The opportunities to see things that so few other people will ever see. Occasionally, we do find unusual creatures that live there. It's still very, very much an unknown world.
Doong Cave in the heart of Phong Nha, Kaibang National Park, Vietnam, holds the title of the world's largest cave.
This cavern, I mean, you can't imagine how tall this is right now.
Aptly named Mountain River Cave, this immense cavern boasts a river running through its vast expanse. The cave's discovery is a fascinating tale of chance and exploration. In 1991, a local farmer named Ho Khan stumbled upon its entrance while seeking shelter from a storm. Despite this early discovery, the cave's true enormity remained a mystery until 2009, when British cavers, led by Howard and Deb Limbert from the British Cave Research Association, conducted a thorough exploration and mapping of the site, unveiling its full grandeur. Doong Cave is staggeringly vast, measuring over 5.5 miles in length. Its ceilings soar up to 650 feet high, with some sections stretching as wide as 490 feet. To put this into perspective, the cave could easily accommodate a New York City block complete with 40-story skyscrapers. The main passage alone is more than 3.1 miles long, ranking it among the most expansive underground spaces ever discovered. The sheer scale of Doong is mind-boggling, making it a true natural wonder. The geological formation of Doong Cave dates back approximately 2 to 5 million years. The cave was sculpted by the persistent flow of river water, eroding the limestone beneath the Annamite Mountains. Over time, the roof of the river's tunnel collapsed, creating massive skylights that allowed sunlight to pour in and a jungle to flourish within the cave.
That hole up there collapsed and dropped all of this rubble here.
Doong Cave is renowned for its monumental stalagmites, some of which reach towering heights of up to 230 feet. These majestic limestone formations, created by the slow drip of mineral-rich water over millions of years, are among the tallest in the world. To visualize their scale, consider that the largest stalagmites in Doong are taller than the Statue of Liberty. Equally impressive stalactites hang from the cave ceiling, forming intricate chandeliers of stone. A dynamic, fast-flowing river courses through Doong Cave, primarily fed by seasonal rains. This river has sculpted the cave's smooth rock formations and carved out deep, crystal-clear pools and lakes. During the rainy season, the river swells, rendering parts of the cave inaccessible due to flooding. These aquatic features not only enhance the cave's aesthetic, but also contribute to its unique ecosystem. The sound of rushing water echoes through the vast chambers, creating a serene yet powerful ambience. The river's erosive power over millions of years is responsible for much of the cave's enormous size and intricate rock formations.
The sound here, or the lack thereof, is deafening.
In a remarkable natural phenomenon, sections of Doong Cave host their own thriving ecosystems, often referred to as the Garden of Eden. These jungles exist due to roof collapses that have created large skylights, allowing sunlight to penetrate the cave's depths. This natural light supports the growth of unique flora, including small trees, ferns, and mosses, which thrive in the humid environment. The sight of a verdant jungle flourishing hundreds of feet below the surface is surreal, making these areas look like a lost world hidden beneath the earth. This lush greenery contrasts starkly with the surrounding limestone formations, adding to the cave's mystique. Doong Cave's floor is sprinkled with rare cave pearls, a natural phenomenon where layers of calcium carbonate accumulate around grains of sand over centuries. These pearls, some as large as baseballs, are formed in pools where water agitation keeps the nuclei in constant motion, allowing even coating. The presence of such large and perfectly rounded cave pearls is exceptionally rare, making them one of the cave's most fascinating features. One of the most iconic formations within Doong Cave is the Hand of Dog stalagmite, a structure resembling a giant dog's paw. This formation has become a popular landmark for explorers, symbolizing the cave's grandeur and the whimsical shapes nature can produce. The Hand of Dog serves as a point of reference within the vast expanse of the cave, often appearing in photographs that capture the cave's interior. Its unique shape sparks the imagination, adding an element of wonder and personality to the already awe-inspiring cave environment. The cave walls of Doong are adorned with ancient fossils, providing a glimpse into the region's prehistoric past. Among these fossils are remnants of marine life, indicating that this area was once submerged under a vast ocean millions of years ago. These fossilized remains include imprints of shells and skeletal fragments. Exploring Doong Cave is not for the faint of heart. The journey to the cave itself is arduous, involving a trek through dense jungle and rugged terrain.
I kind of like to be surprised, you know. Holy cow!
Once inside, the challenges continue as explorers navigate through vast underground chambers, some of which require swimming or using ropes to climb. The cave's sheer size and complexity pose significant challenges for mapping and study. This adventure is both physically demanding and mentally exhilarating, attracting only the most intrepid adventurers and scientists. Given its pristine condition and ecological significance, ongoing efforts are in place to protect Doong Cave. The Vietnamese government, in collaboration with environmental organizations, has established strict guidelines for tourism and exploration to minimize human impact. Only a limited number of guided tours are permitted each year, ensuring that the cave's delicate ecosystem remains undisturbed. These measures help preserve the cave's natural beauty and ecological integrity, allowing future generations to experience this magnificent natural wonder. The Cham civilization, which flourished from the 2nd century to the 17th century in central and southern Vietnam, was a sophisticated culture known for its advancements in maritime trade, architecture, and sculpture. The Cham people, predominantly Hindu, left behind numerous architectural marvels, including towers and temples that served as religious and cultural centers. The Cham towers are celebrated for their distinctive red brick construction and intricate carvings that adorn their surfaces. These structures are remarkable for several reasons. The Cham builders used a unique method of bricklaying without mortar, fitting the bricks together so precisely that they appear seamless. This technique remains a subject of study and admiration among modern architects and archaeologists. The towers are embellished with detailed carvings that depict Hindu deities such as Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, as well as mythical creatures like Garuda and Naga. The reliefs often illustrate scenes from Hindu epics, showcasing the Cham's artistic prowess and deep religious devotion. Structurally, the towers typically have a rectangular or square base with a high tapering spire, symbolizing Mount Meru, the center of the universe in Hindu cosmology. Each tower was part of a larger temple complex that included sanctuaries, assembly halls, and gates. While not directly adjacent to Doong Cave, notable Cham towers in the broader region include My Sun Sanctuary and Po Nagar towers. These sites provide context for the Cham presence in the area and are crucial for understanding their architectural and cultural impact. My Sun Sanctuary was rediscovered in the late 19th century by French archaeologists, including Camille Paris, who first documented the site in 1898. Subsequent explorations were conducted by Henri Parmentier and others in the early 20th century. My Sun served as a religious center and the burial place for Cham kings and national heroes. The site contains over 70 temples and towers constructed between the 4th and 14th centuries, representing the height of Cham architecture. The sanctuary's towers are arranged in clusters, each dedicated to a different deity. The most prominent structure is the B1 Tower, dedicated to Shiva, featuring elaborate carvings and a symbol of Shiva. Po Nagar Towers, located in Nha Trang, were documented by French explorers in the 19th century. The site has been a place of continuous worship since its construction, which dates back to the 8th century. The Po Nagar complex was originally built to honor Yan Po Nagar, the goddess of the Cham people, who is believed to have created the earth, eaglewood, and rice. The site also became a center for Buddhist worship over time. The towers at Po Nagar are characterized by their ornate carvings and the use of sandstone for detailing. The largest tower, dedicated to the goddess Po Nagar, stands over 75 feet tall, and houses a statue of the goddess sitting on a lotus throne. The Bin Din Towers, located in the Bin Din province, showcase the later Cham architectural style, which includes more ornate carvings and the use of sandstone in addition to brick. These towers were built between the 11th and 13th centuries.
If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult. But if you have a very long time frame to deal with, there's much more material to investigate.
Was the city of Petra always known as Petra? From the Bible, we learn that the oldest name for Petra is Seir.
Beneath the rose-red cliffs of Petra, an ancient city carved into sandstone holds mysteries that have puzzled scientists for centuries.
First organization of human beings that deserved to be called a civilization.
Recent discoveries in this lost city have surprised experts, challenging our understanding of ancient civilizations. As shadows reveal new celestial alignments on the grand facades and columns during the equinox, we are left wondering, what secrets do the stones of Petra still hold?
I don't think we're looking at coincidence here. There's too much going on. I think coincidence is a very weak explanation for what's happening.
The story of Petra, often called the Lost City, stretches back to as early as the 4th century BCE, when it was founded and rose to prominence by the 1st century BCE as the capital of the Nabatean kingdom. Nestled in the cliffs of vibrant red, white, pink and sandstone, Petra was at the heart of a bustling trade empire. Its strategic location on the spice trade routes connected it with far-flung regions from China and India to southern Arabia, and onto Egypt, Syria, Greece and Rome.
You go to Egypt and you'll find influence of the Nabateans. Everywhere we look, we find some reference at some time to the Nabateans.
The city thrived not just commercially but culturally and architecturally, demonstrating advanced techniques in water conservation. Its engineers crafted an intricate system of dams, cisterns and water channels that sustained both the city's population and its agriculture through harsh desert conditions. However, following its annexation by Rome in 106 CE, Petra began to experience a slow decline. Initially, it flourished under Roman influence, but as trade routes shifted towards the sea and devastating earthquakes struck in the 4th and 6th centuries, the city gradually lost its former glory. By the time the Islamic conquests swept through in the 7th century, Petra was reduced to a shadow of its former self, mainly inhabited by a few local Bedouin tribes who lived among the ruins and closely guarded its secrets. Throughout the Middle Ages and well into the 18th century, Petra remained enveloped in obscurity, particularly to the Western world. The Crusaders controlled the region briefly in the 12th century and even established a fortress there, but knowledge of Petra's once grandeur was limited to local tribes and a few knowledgeable Arab scholars. The renowned 14th century explorer Ibn Battuta mentioned Petra during his travels, describing it as a remote place with buildings impressively carved into rock faces. This period in Petra's history mirrors that of another ancient city, Machu Picchu in Peru, which also remained hidden from Western awareness until its rediscovery in 1911 by Hiram Bingham. Both cities were advanced in manipulating their natural environments, Petra with its sophisticated water management systems, and Machu Picchu with its terraced fields and intricate urban planning. The prolonged European ignorance of Petra lasted until the 19th century, with the region fading into the realm of myth and legend. Many in Europe were completely unaware of Petra's existence, despite ancient texts hinting at the architectural marvels that lay hidden in the Jordanian mountains. This mystery persisted until explorers reintroduced Petra to the Western world, bridging the gap between ancient lore and modern recognition. Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, born in 1784, was a Swiss traveler and scholar whose profound curiosity and academic prowess led him to significant contributions towards the Western understanding of lost or lesser-known ancient sites. Mastering multiple languages and immersing himself in various cultures, Burckhardt developed a particular fascination with Petra, an ancient city whose whereabouts had slipped from European knowledge. In preparation for his explorations within the Ottoman Empire, Burckhardt relocated to London in 1806, where he joined the African Association, an organization committed to the exploration and mapping of Africa. He further honed his expertise at Cambridge University, studying Arabic, geography, and the cultures of the Middle East. It was here that he meticulously constructed his alter ego, Sheikh Ibrahim ibn Abdallah. This identity was not just a cover to mask his European roots and exploratory motives, it was a deep dive into cultural assimilation, allowing him safer passage and a more authentic experience in predominantly Muslim territories. Burckhardt's journey to Petra began in 1812, framed as a pilgrimage to sacrifice at the tomb of the prophet Aaron on Mount Hor, which cleverly concealed his true intent to locate and document Petra. He had pieced together clues of the lost city from discussions with local traders and vague references in ancient manuscripts. His travels from Syria to the Arabian Peninsula were fraught with challenges, from regional conflicts to the unforgiving desert landscape, yet his guise as an Islamic scholar provided him crucial cover. Upon his arrival in Petra, Burckhardt was met with the breathtaking view of the Sikh, a narrow gorge stretching over a kilometer, flanked by towering walls as high as 80 meters. This passage led him to Petra's most famous and enigmatic structure, Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury. Carved directly into the blush-colored sandstone cliffs, its facade displayed an exquisite blend of Nabatean, Greek, and Roman architectural elements. Petra's entrance, known as the Sikh, is far more than just a gateway. It's an architectural wonder in its own right. This narrow gorge, carved directly from the towering sandstone cliffs, stretches for about 1.2 kilometers and varies in width from a mere 3 to 16 meters. As you walk through, the walls, which soar to heights of over 80 meters, dramatically frame your approach, guiding you towards the heart of Petra, ending at the magnificent Al-Khazneh. Along the Sikh, you'll notice a series of ancient water channels, a testament to the Nabateans' advanced hydraulic engineering skills. They devised these systems to capture and conserve the scarce desert rainwater. The strategic narrowness of the Sikh also offered a natural defense mechanism, much like the historic pass of Thermopylae in Greece, providing a fortified barrier against potential invaders. At the end of the Sikh stands Al-Khazneh, or the Treasury, which, despite its name, was likely built as a mausoleum or temple around the 1st century CE. This iconic structure is renowned for its stunning facade, decorated with a blend of Hellenistic architectural elements and native Nabatean motifs. It features a grand portico supported by 6 Corinthian columns and is adorned with intricate bas-reliefs, including depictions of Castor and Pollux, twin brothers who were revered in mythology for their role in protection and safety. The urn perched atop the facade fueled local legends, with Bedouins believing it concealed ancient treasures, hence the name the Treasury. This blend of myth and architecture draws parallels to the ornately decorated temples of the Egyptian pharaohs, which were also rich in cultural and mythological significance. Petra's architectural landscape is a rich mosaic of influences, reflecting its historical significance as a cultural and trading hub. The city's structures blend Nabatean rock-cut artistry with classical Greek, Roman, and later Byzantine styles. This fusion is visible not just on the facades but throughout the city's layout, which includes a Roman-style colonnaded street and a theatre capable of holding over 3,000 spectators. Carved directly from the rock, Petra's theatre echoes the design of ancient Greek theatres such as Epidaurus, yet it is uniquely Nabatean in its execution, showcasing their extraordinary skill in stone carving. This architectural diversity highlights the city's role as a melting pot of various civilizations throughout history, each leaving their mark on its stones and streets. Among the monumental structures in Petra, the monastery known as Ad-Dair stands out for its architectural splendor akin to that of the Treasury, yet it occupies a more secluded and solemn location. The journey to reach the monastery is an adventure in itself, involving a challenging climb of over 800 steps carved directly into the rock, which naturally limits the number of casual tourists who visit. Originally constructed as a Nabatean temple in the 3rd century BCE, the structure was later repurposed as a Christian chapel during the Byzantine period. Its facade, adorned with a massive urn and framed by towering columns, rivals the grandeur of the Parthenon in Athens. However, the isolation of the monastery adds a layer of spiritual retreat, contrasting with the civic pride of the Parthenon. Petra's allure as a mysterious and adventurous location was catapulted into popular culture by its appearance in the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The movie features Petra's treasury as the fictional entrance to the final resting place of the Holy Grail, which not only captured the imaginations of viewers worldwide, but also significantly boosted tourism to the site. This depiction in the film perfectly aligned with the themes of discovery and exploration, underscoring how media can dramatically shape the perception and economic realities of archaeological sites.
These caves are incredible. I don't even want to call them caves because it's called the Barabar Caves, but these things are not caves. Does that look like a cave to anyone?
That looks
No.
like the entrance to a spaceship. That's
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like a single granite
Vein.
One
vein.
huge piece.
Deep in the heart of India, shrouded in the mists of ancient history, lies a marvel of engineering and artistry that continues to baffle and amaze. The Barabar Caves, a series of rock-cut chambers carved into the granite hills of Bihar, India, the oldest rock-carved caves that exists to date. What secrets do they hold? How were they built? And what purpose did they serve? Could humans really have created this ancient wonder? The Barabar Caves, discovered in the early 19th century, are believed to be the oldest surviving examples of rock-cut architecture in India, dating back to the 3rd century BC. They were commissioned by Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan emperor who famously converted to Buddhism after the bloody Kalinga War. These caves were meant to serve as retreats for monks and ascetics seeking spiritual enlightenment. What is immediately striking about the Barabar Caves is the sheer precision and polish of their construction. The walls and ceilings are so smooth, they seem almost mirrored. The interiors are devoid of any ornamentation, emphasizing their austere and contemplative purpose. Even today, after more than 2 millennia, the echo of a whisper reverberates through these chambers, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The most iconic of the Barabar Caves is the Lomas Rishi Cave, distinguished by its unique horseshoe-shaped entrance, reminiscent of the Chaitya halls of later Buddhist architecture. The interior is a single spacious chamber with a vaulted ceiling, culminating in a stupa-like projection at the far end. The acoustics within the Lomas Rishi Cave are extraordinary, creating a sense of otherworldly resonance that amplifies even the slightest sound. But how were these caves built? The technology available at the time was rudimentary, consisting mainly of iron chisels and hammers. Carving into the hard granite would have been an arduous and time-consuming task. Yet, the sheer scale and precision of the Barabar Caves suggest a level of mastery that seems almost impossible for the time. Some scholars theorize that the Mauryans might have employed advanced techniques, perhaps even using fire to weaken the rock before chiseling. Others speculate that they might have had access to specialized tools or knowledge that has since been lost. The mystery of their construction only adds to the allure of the Barabar Caves. The Barabar Caves are not just architectural marvels, they are also repositories of history. Inscriptions found within the caves provide valuable insights into the Mauryan era, including Ashoka's edicts promoting peace and non-violence. These inscriptions show Ashoka's profound transformation from a ruthless conqueror to a benevolent ruler, a transformation that reverberated throughout the Indian subcontinent. But the Barabar Caves also raise intriguing questions. Why did Ashoka choose this particular location? Was it for its strategic importance, its natural beauty, or its spiritual significance? The story of the Barabar Caves is far from over. These ancient marvels hold more than just questions of technique and purpose. As we dig deeper into the mystery, we find that the caves are connected to a broader network of ancient secrets, some hiding in plain sight, others concealed beneath the surface of history. The Barabar Caves, it seems, are just the beginning. Let's turn our attention to the staggering amount of stone that was removed to create these caves. Carving out even one of these chambers would have required moving hundreds of tons of solid granite. While this might seem difficult enough today, with cranes and modern machinery, imagine doing it over 2,000 years ago with only basic tools. Experts estimate that the volume of rock removed from the Barabar and Nagarjuni caves combined is equivalent to the construction of an entire modern skyscraper. The caves aren't just hollow spaces, they are carefully engineered cavities with perfectly smooth walls and astonishing acoustic properties. This raises the question, were these caves intended for something far more complex than simple meditation? If we step outside the narrow confines of traditional archaeology, a number of unconventional theories begin to emerge. One of the most compelling is the possibility that these caves were not simply religious sanctuaries, but sites for ancient experiments with sound and resonance. Sound, after all, was a powerful force in many ancient cultures, believed to be a tool for healing, communication, and even construction. Could the Barabar caves have been designed to amplify certain frequencies, perhaps to aid in meditation or to access hidden states of consciousness? Some researchers propose that the unique sound dynamics within the caves were not accidental, but were the result of advanced knowledge of acoustics, knowledge that may have been lost to time. When comparing Barabar to other ancient acoustic marvels, such as the Hypogeum of Saflieni in Malta, where low-frequency sounds resonate powerfully within the subterranean chambers, the similarities are striking. In both cases, the structures amplify sound in ways that seem unnatural. Could there have been an ancient global understanding of sound technology that allowed different cultures to manipulate their environments for spiritual or scientific purposes? But even more provocative is the idea that the Barabar caves and the surrounding region could have been used for something much more practical. Some conspiracy theorists have speculated that these caves were not spiritual retreats, but part of a network of sites dedicated to early technological experiments, possibly in metallurgy or energy generation. Ancient India was known for its early advances in metallurgy, particularly with the discovery of Wootz steel, a high-carbon alloy that later became famous as Damascus steel. Could it be that the Barabar region, rich in iron ore, served as a hidden laboratory where ancient metallurgists conducted experiments in the production of alloys, harnessing the natural acoustic properties of the caves for unknown purposes? There's also the curious question of why the Ajivikas, a relatively obscure religious group, would commission such monumental works. Ajivikas were known for their strict ascetic practices, rejecting material wealth and worldly possessions. So why would they need such massive, intricately designed caves? Could it be that the caves had a dual purpose, both spiritual and scientific? Some researchers have suggested that the caves may have served as a place where spiritual leaders and early scientists exchanged ideas, blurring the line between religious meditation and scientific experimentation. This theory gains traction when we look at other caves and rock-cut structures in the region, like the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves in Odisha, carved around the same time as Barabar. While Udayagiri and Khandagiri served more as monastic retreats for Jain monks, the designs are remarkably intricate, featuring tiered halls and passageways that hint at more than just religious devotion. Could these sites have been part of a larger network of spiritual and scientific centers stretching across ancient India? There is a growing belief that these cave complexes were not isolated projects, but rather the work of a sophisticated civilization with knowledge that extended beyond the spiritual into fields like geometry, engineering, and metallurgy. Looking westward, comparisons with the Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra become even more intriguing. Unlike Barabar, the Ellora complex contains vast temple structures, including the breathtaking Kailasa temple, which was carved from a single piece of rock. What ties these sites together is the sheer scale of excavation. While Barabar focuses on precision and acoustic properties, Ellora and Ajanta showcase the massive scale and intricacy of rock-cut architecture. The fact that both were created around the same time period raises questions. Were these part of a grander pan-Indian tradition of rock-cut engineering that blended religion with early scientific understanding? Could the same knowledge have flowed between these centers, each site fulfilling different roles in a complex network of spiritual, technological, and social life? There are also strange connections to be made when examining other rock-carved sites across the world. For instance, Petra, the ancient Nabatean city in Jordan, shares some remarkable similarities with Barabar. Both were carved into solid rock, both involved an unimaginable amount of labor, and both exhibit architectural features far ahead of their time. Petra, with its elaborate facades and hidden tombs, and Barabar, with its smooth chambers and enigmatic acoustics, may have been created for vastly different purposes, yet the precision and effort involved suggest that the people who built them shared a deep understanding of stoneworking and engineering. While mainstream historians argue that these similarities are coincidental, the evidence is difficult to ignore. Were these sites merely the result of isolated advances in technology, or were ancient cultures more connected than we realize, sharing techniques and knowledge across vast distances? Then there's the question of why these caves are located where they are. The Barabar caves are situated near Gaya, a place of immense spiritual significance in India. Gaya is not only home to the famous Bodh Gaya, where Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment, but the region itself is dotted with caves, temples, and religious sites. Could there be something about the land itself, something about the energy of the place, that made it a focal point for spiritual leaders and scientists alike?
For a long time, it was held that the Neanderthals were stupid, primitive subhumans, shambling, lacking symbolism. Turns out that that's not true at all. Certain populations in the world today still have 3 to 5% of Neanderthal DNA.
Tucked away in the rugged terrains of the Altai Mountains, where the borders of Russia, China, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan meet, lies a fascinating piece of history that has captured the imaginations of archaeologists and historians alike: the Denisova Cave.
This is an issue that I go into in America before. And what first drew me into it was Denisova Cave in Siberia.
This isn't just any cave, it's a treasure trove of human evolution, nestled in an area known for its breathtaking biodiversity and complex geological history. The mountains themselves are alive with a rich variety of plants and animals, setting the perfect backdrop for a story that's as much about the natural world as it is about our ancient ancestors.
I think everybody's heard of the Neanderthals, and these days I think everybody's heard of the Denisovans as well.
The story of Denisova Cave began to unfold in the 1970s, when Soviet scientists first explored its depths. At that time, their eyes were set on unraveling the geological and paleontological mysteries of the region, largely overlooking the cave's potential to unlock secrets of our past. It's named after Denis, an 18th century hermit who once called the cave home, adding a touch of human history to its ancient walls. With its intricate network of chambers and galleries, the cave hinted at stories of long-term habitation by early humans, waiting just beneath the surface to be discovered. But it wasn't until 2008 that the cave truly stepped into the spotlight, thanks to the discovery of a small finger bone.
In Russia, in Denisova Cave, they find a single pinky bone from a little finger. And what they discover is, this isn't a Neanderthal, this isn't an anatomically modern human being, this is another human species.
This wasn't just any bone, it belonged to the Denisovans, an ancient group of hominins previously unknown to science. Suddenly, the world was paying attention, eager to learn more about these mysterious inhabitants. The cave, with its rich layers of history buried within, revealed that it had been a bustling crossroads for different groups over tens of thousands of years. What's particularly intriguing about the Denisova Cave is not just its archaeological wealth, but also its location. Nestled in a remote part of the Altai Mountains, reaching it is no small feat. The harsh climatic conditions add an extra layer of challenge for those daring enough to explore its secrets. Yet it's precisely these obstacles that make the cave so alluring to researchers from across the globe. Every expedition brings us closer to understanding not just the Denisovans, but the broader narrative of human history. Imagine stumbling upon a piece of the puzzle that is human history, hidden away in the depths of Siberia's Denisova Cave. The Denisovans are a bit of a mystery, genetically distinct from both modern humans and Neanderthals. Their DNA tells us they branched off from Neanderthals around 400,000 years ago, enriching the narrative of the Pleistocene era's human saga. But when it comes to what they looked like, we're mostly in the dark. Our clues? Just a finger bone, a few teeth, and a piece of skull. Though these fragments are robust, they hint at Denisovans being well equipped for surviving the tough Pleistocene Asia. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The Denisovans didn't just keep to themselves, they left a mark on us modern humans. Certain groups today, especially in Asia and Oceania, carry Denisovan DNA. For instance, the indigenous people of Melanesia, including Papua New Guineans, have about 5% of their DNA from Denisovans. This reveals a history of ancient interbreeding that is more complex and common than we ever imagined.
Anatomically modern humans interbred with Neanderthals. You can't interbreed with another species. They clearly were human beings.
Denisovans mixed not just with modern humans, but also Neanderthals and possibly another yet unidentified ancient human group. But what about their way of life? The Denisova cave has given us a glimpse, yielding sophisticated tools, a bone needle, and even jewelry. These finds suggest a culture and level of sophistication that challenges our understanding of archaic humans. The discovery of the Denisovans has been a game changer in evolutionary biology, painting a picture of our past that's far more intricate than previously thought. It's not just about who we are, but who we're connected to, revealing a web of interactions among ancient human species across Eurasia. Yet, for all we've learned, the Denisovans remain shrouded in mystery. With each fossil fragment and DNA sequence, scientists are slowly piecing together the jigsaw of our ancient past. The Denisovan genome in particular continues to be a treasure trove of information, promising to unlock even more secrets as research progresses. This story is far from over. It's an ongoing journey of discovery into who we are and where we come from. Siberia's Yakutia region, known for its jaw-dropping temperature extremes, is home to a place as intriguing as its ominous name suggests: the Valley of Death. Tucked away in the northeastern part of Siberia, in the Sakha Republic, this valley is not just a testament to nature's extremes, but also a canvas for mysteries that boggle the mind. What sets this valley apart are the curious metallic structures scattered across its landscape. Picture this: dome-like formations and metal objects, some peeking out of the earth as if partially buried treasures, all wrapped in a mystery. Are they ancient artifacts, remnants of meteorite impacts, or something else? The truth is, we're still scratching our heads trying to figure it out. Getting to the Valley of Death is an adventure in itself. It's remote, wildly inhospitable, and the weather swings from scorching summers to winters that would give even the hardiest explorer pause. This makes studying those mysterious structures all the more challenging. Local folklore adds layers of intrigue to the valley. The Yakut people have tales that could make your hair stand on end, associating the valley and its metallic mysteries with danger and otherworldly energies. According to legend, these structures could wield unknown powers, causing illness or worse to those who dare too close. While these stories add to the valley's mystique, they remain unverified whispers of the past. Scientists, on their part, have theories that could explain the existence of these structures. Some suggest they might be the aftermath of meteorite impacts, pointing to Siberia's history with celestial events like the famous Tunguska explosion. Others speculate they could be the work of ancient humans or a civilization lost to time, leaving behind these puzzling artifacts. But here's the rub. Actually exploring this area is incredibly tough. The extreme climate, the area's seclusion, and the sheer lack of infrastructure make sustained research difficult. This scarcity of empirical data means much about the Valley of Death remains a tantalizing mystery. This shroud of mystery isn't just a magnet for scientists. Historians, paranormal enthusiasts, and even adventurous tourists are drawn to its secrets. The allure of uncovering more about Siberia's ancient past and its uncharted territories is irresistible. As technology and exploration methods improve, who knows what secrets we'll unearth from the Valley of Death? Until then, it remains one of Siberia's most captivating enigmas, a place where history, legend, and science converge in the most mysterious of dances. Let's dive into one of Siberia's most mind-boggling mysteries, the Tunguska event of 1908. Imagine a blast so powerful it flattens 80 million trees over an area of 2,150 square kilometers. That's exactly what happened near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in central Siberia on June 30th, 1908. This wasn't just any old explosion, it was roughly 1,000 times mightier than the Hiroshima atomic bomb. The shockwaves from this colossal blast were felt up to 2,000 kilometers away. People at the time reported seeing a bright blue light, almost like a second sun, followed by a series of booms that were strong enough to knock folks off their feet and shatter windows hundreds of kilometers away. Fast forward to 1927. And enter Leonid Kulik, a Russian mineralogist who was the first to scientifically investigate the site. Kulik was expecting to find a meteorite crater, but was met instead with a sea of flattened trees, splayed out from a central point, like the spokes of a wheel with not a crater in sight. The most accepted theory: a small asteroid or comet fragment burst through the atmosphere, exploding 5 to 10 kilometers above ground with the force of 10-15 megatons of TNT. But as with all good mysteries, there are other angles. Everything from a natural gas explosion from the Earth's belly to wilder notions like antimatter or even a mini black hole having a run-in with our planet. The aftermath of this explosion wasn't just a big patch of knocked-down trees, it had a significant environmental punch, boosting tree growth in the area and reportedly causing genetic mutations in plants and animals. Likely thanks to the extreme heat and shockwave, it even had a hand in global atmospheric changes, like the creation of night-shining clouds and a dip in atmospheric transparency across Europe and Asia. But here's where it gets even juicier. The Tunguska event has been a hotbed for conspiracy theories and wild speculation. From alien spacecraft crashes to top-secret weapon tests, the event's mysterious nature has sparked imaginations worldwide. Despite decades of research and countless theories, the Tunguska event remains one of the 20th century's most tantalizing unsolved mysteries. It's a real-life sci-fi story, set in the remote Siberian wilderness, that continues to intrigue and puzzle us to this day.